Welcome! This video will provide information and training to employees of Community Futures. Not all situations or all disabilities can be covered. The intent is primarily to raise awareness on how best to communicate effectively with entrepreneurs with various types of disabilities who are from different cultural backgrounds. So why is it important to know more about disabilities?
We are a growing segment of the population.
Whether we are in urban or rural centers, we must have equal opportunity to be employed or self-employed.
Population projections estimate that about 1/5 of the Canadian population will have a disability of some form or another by 2021.
And our communities are seeing an increase in the number of people with disabilities who are from an ethnic origin. Disability is difficult to define because it is interpreted differently between people and also over time.
I'm deaf. You would not know that by looking at me. There are many invisible disabilities, such as multiple sclerosis, diabetes, mental health disabilities, and learning disabilities.
I have a visible disability because when you look at me, you can see that I use a wheelchair.
According to the Physical Activity Limitation Survey completed by Statistics Canada, the type of disabilities with the highest number are those associated with mobility, agility, and pain. The number of people with disabilities is expected to increase as the population ages.
I encounter a multitude of handicaps every day. I don't think people understand the meaning of handicap, so let me try to explain what it is and what it isn't. A handicap is a barrier that limits the opportunity for me to participate fully. For example, I sometimes encounter the barrier of not being able to enter a building. If the building has a ramp, the handicap is eliminated. I cannot be handicapped. Rather, a condition in the environment causes me to be handicapped. It is incorrect to use the term handicapped to refer to a person who has a disability. When speaking, I encourage you to replace the word handicap with the word accessible. So instead of saying handicap parking, please use accessible parking.
I find that people's attitudes are often the biggest barrier that myself and many people with disabilities face. People's attitudes permeate and affect the daily lives of all of us. I am sure you can recall a story about discrimination or intolerance to differences because of insensitivity and preconceived notions. Barriers can be conveyed through attitudes or assumptions, or more subtly through language. Examples of attitudinal barriers include thinking that people with disabilities are inferior, or assuming that a person who has a speech impairment can understand you. I have a type of cerebral palsy that affects my speech. Sometimes I have someone with me who interprets what I say. Other times I use this device, which I can type into, and it will say what I've typed. It can be time-consuming, but it is important that people understand me.
It takes time and patience for both you and I.
It takes time and patience for both you and I.
Information or communication barriers happen when a person cannot easily understand information because the print is too small to read, or a website can't be accessed by people who are not able to use a mouse.
Sometimes technology is a barrier if there's no closed captioning or no texting capabilities.
Systemic barriers exclude certain groups of people through the application of policies, procedures, or practices that discriminate against people with disabilities. For example, a hiring process that includes tests that must be written exclude people with dexterity limitations and people with some types of learning disabilities.
Architectural and physical barriers are conditions in the built environment or handicaps that restrict or complicate access. These include mobility barriers such as stairs, narrow hallways, high reception desks, poor lighting, doorknobs, and taps that are difficult to grasp and turn.
I'm a mom, I'm an American Sign Language teacher, and I'm proud to be deaf.
I am a brother. I am a friend. I am a computer instructor. And I'm also someone with a disability.
I am a doctor.
I am a daughter.
I am a friend.
I am a friend.
I live independently.
I live independently.
I am also a person who uses a wheelchair.
I am also a person who uses a wheelchair.
I have people who depend on me. I have responsibilities. I am a teacher and I am completely independent. I have been in a wheelchair for 6 years.
I'm a sister. I'm also a person who works with people of ethnic origin who have physical disabilities.
I am a father. I am also an ethnocultural resource facilitator who works with people who are hard of hearing.
Being aware of the appropriate terminology is an important way to show that you understand and are sensitive to people with disabilities. Choosing words and images which help shape positive attitudes will result in the promotion of the person rather than the disability.
If you and I are talking, it's important to look directly at me. Don't look at my interpreter. In the same way that if you're talking to anybody with a disability, speak directly to them and not their attendant.
Offer assistance, but don't insist.
Ask how to assist and what to do to be helpful.
Take into consideration my knowledge on my own needs.
Ask whenever you are uncertain.
Ask about their disability only when it pertains to their business needs.
Remember that each person is different. Each person has their own personality and characteristics. Everyone is unique.
If you are speaking to me, please talk to me from the front of my wheelchair. Do not lean against or hang on my wheelchair. I treat my chairs as an extension of my body.
We live in an environment that is constantly shifting and changing. Our goal with this video is to provide some direction and some guidance. It is important to understand that disability can have many meanings and cultural differences. What we understand about the relationship between culture and disabilities is based predominantly on the cultures of the Western world. Taking a broader look at the occurrence of disabilities and how immigrants and refugees respond to people with disabilities varies. Even the idea of disabilities as a concept is one that is understood differently in different communities and even within communities globally. In some cultures, disabilities is viewed negatively, and people with disabilities withdraw and isolate themselves from others. The idea of disability might be fallen to the range of communities around the world, and in fact, many languages do not have a word for the idea. It is likely that we will meet entrepreneurs with disabilities who are from different cultural backgrounds. In order to be sensitive to the cultural differences, this information may be helpful.
Be aware of common language barriers. Many languages do not have pronouns or use only one common pronoun to refer to either or both of the genders, and therefore, people may confuse the use of he or she. Sometimes when I attend a meeting, the whole family will show up. This is considered normal in some cultures since families often live together multi-generationally.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We hope you found the information helpful and informative.